All right, fight fans, it's time for the Zone Sazon. That's right, it's Hispanic Heritage Month, and we want to talk to our fellow Hispanic fighters about being Hispanic, and we got none other than the rising star, Xander Sayas. Listen, I lived in Puerto Rico when I was born in Brooklyn, New York, but I lived in Puerto Rico for about a year and a half when I was 10 years old. And the camaraderie that and the love that our neighbors showed, and we just had moved from New York. You can walk down to the neighbor and get arroz con habichuela, that's rice and beans, folks. And like everybody is like a big family, a community. Talk about what it is to be Hispanic in the island of Puerto Rico.
Man, like you said, just like you said, it's a big family. You walk to the corner and the corner guy knows your whole family, your grandparents, everybody that came before you. And it's just like that. I feel like Puerto Rico is really, really, really united when it comes to people and helping each other. And that's the way I am. That's the way they raised me, help the person next to you. And that's what it means to be Puerto Rican, just to be grateful to be alive.
Yeah, why y'all making that island sound like it's so perfect, man? I remember last time I was there with you, he was like,
hold up, I gotta follow, because what he said made me think of something,
All right, go ahead, do it.
Puerto Rico's an island that has faced adversity, and the hurricanes is one of them. And I guess when they face adversity, that's when it comes out how they, get together and help each other out, whether it's food or water, whatever. So, Hurricane Sandy caused a lot of damage on the island. I don't know if you were living there or you were in Florida at the time. It's so long ago. But have you ever experienced a hurricane or some sort of disaster that made people band together?
Man, we have experienced in 2018, 2017. We experienced Hurricane Maria too. I was already here in the United States, but I had friends over in Puerto Rico, and I remember we were trying our best, sending them food, sending them all the supplies they needed. They were without power for months, and I feel like everybody in the island was just trying to help each other. If you needed, like you said, a little bit of arroz con habichuela, come to my house and get it. And that's how it was. That's how it was, and that's how it is always. We always try to help each other.
Wow. So listen, my era was Tito Trinidad. When he came to fight at Madison Square Garden, it seems like the whole New York City shut down because everybody went to go see him. Who was it in your era when you was a young kid? Who did you watch?
Man, Miguel Cotto. Miguel Cotto was that guy that when he fought Puerto Rico, the whole island would have just stopped and go watch him fight. I remember, man, going to the corner store, going to the gas station next to my house, and it was just a party. Everybody was having fun and just seeing Miguel Cotto put on a show.
Puerto Rican fans love the sport of boxing. If it's not baseball, it's boxing. I would say boxing is the number one sport in Puerto Rico, if you ask me. Do you remember the first time after becoming a professional, signing with Top Rank, and going back to Puerto Rico? Do you remember the first time somebody recognized you and said something to you? Take me back to that moment.
I do remember. I was with my family. We just got out the airport. We're waiting on the Uber to pick us up, and somebody was like, "Hey, are you Xander Sayas? I heard you was signed at 16. Can I take a picture with you?" And I'm like, "Man, let's do it." Like, that was amazing. Because
how did that feel?
Back in the island, somebody has taught me. It was an amazing moment for me. It's something that inspires me, and it gets me motivated.
Wow, that's amazing story. Now listen, you went from somebody who watched Miguel Cotto on TV to somebody that Miguel probably knows. Has him or any other guy that you looked up to given you any advice?
Man, Miguel Cotto is a great guy. I'm fortunate to have his phone number, his contact, so I can text him and ask him for any advice. He's always looking out for me. And something that he told me the first time I met him was, forget about all the pressure, focus on your career, focus on what you have to do, and have fun every single time you do it.
You mentioned Miguel because he was part of the era when you were young, but I know you've heard the name Tito Trinidad so much. Like me, when I was younger, I didn't really watch Wilfredo Benitez, but because of my father kept telling me, I went back to watch and I studied. I was like, wow, he was great. Have you gone back to watch Tito Trinidad, and what do you think of him as a fighter?
100%. I've gone back, and I remember my mom telling me this story when he fought Oscar De La Hoya. I remember that day they had school and they stopped school. They stopped school, and the day after, when he returned to Puerto Rico, they also stopped school. It was a Monday, I believe it was. They stopped school.
It was like a holiday.
For everybody to go meet him at the airport. It was crazy. It's this crazy story that my mom told me, and I always go back and look at him. And man, Tito Trinidad is
well, I'll tell you what, Xander, it wasn't a story. It was true, because I lived in that era, and they shut the schools down for that guy. That's how much influence he had. Do you see yourself one day having that influence on the line? How would it feel if Xander goes back to Puerto Rico on a Monday and school is shut down?
Man, that would feel amazing. That would be a dream come true. We're working towards that. We want to make it happen. But again, time will tell. We got to stay focused and keep winning fights.
Well, I hope you get to shut down the school one day. But listen, who do you think would win if Miguel Cotto fought Tito Trinidad?
Oh man, come on! You can't put me on the spot like that.
All right, I'll answer that for you.
I had to. No, hell no.
Trinidad.
Nobody want to hear your opinion. Nobody want to hear your opinion. Who would win?
It's just two different eras, but I'll have to go with my favorite fighter, Miguel Cotto.
It's wrong, but okay. No, I'm just kidding. That's cool. All right, so last question, brother. What does it mean to you to be Hispanic in the boxing community?
Man, to be Hispanic means a lot. You know, the boxing in the Hispanic community, it's like going to church every Sunday. You know, every Saturday, I promise that when a Hispanic fighter fights, when Canelo fights, every Hispanic household sits down and watch him fight, watch him put on a show. So I feel like it's really, really big in our community, and I'm just blessed. I'm blessed to have not just Puerto Rico, but the Hispanic community behind me.
Man, listen, you're a perfect example, and I know young kids that are younger than you, you're inspiring, and you're making them proud to be Hispanic. So I appreciate that, man. Listen, good luck. Like I said, future champ right here, Xander Zayas for DAZN Sazon.